American flags, parades, and patriotism. Today, we are honoring a very important holiday, Veterans Day. We'll dive into its history, the significance behind it, and how we can all take time to show our appreciation for those who've served. Veterans Day is celebrated every year on November 11th. It is a time to honor all military veterans. A veteran is someone who has served in the United States Armed Forces. Someone who is currently serving is called active duty and is not typically referred to as a veteran. However, this day honors them as well. But how did Veterans Day begin? Veterans Day originally started as Armistice Day, marking the end of World War I. The armistice was signed on the 11th hour of the 11th day of the 11th month in 1918, signifying the official end of fighting on the Western Front. For years, November 11th was the day to honor those who fought and died in World War I, a conflict known at the time as the War to End All Wars. However, after World War II and the Korean War, it became clear that honoring veterans from just one war wasn't enough. In 1954, President Dwight D. Eisenhower signed a bill that officially changed Armistice Day to Veterans Day, broadening the scope to honor all American veterans regardless of when or where they served. Today, Veterans Day is a celebration of the bravery, sacrifice, and service of all veterans who have dedicated their lives to protecting our country. One common question that people have is, what's the difference between Veterans Day and Memorial Day? Both are national holidays that honor members of the military, but they honor their service in different ways. Memorial Day, which takes place in May, is specifically a day of remembrance for military personnel who have died in service to their country, especially those who lost their lives in combat. It's a solemn occasion marked by ceremonies at cemeteries and memorials across the country. Veterans Day, on the other hand, is a celebration of all U.S. military veterans, those who are still with us and those who have passed. It is a day of gratitude, and it also focuses on recognizing the contributions of living veterans and thanking them for their service. Aside from Veterans Day being a national holiday, it also gives us a dedicated moment to stop and reflect on the freedoms that we enjoy thanks to the sacrifices made by our veterans. Veterans Day is more than just a day off from school or work. It's a time to personally thank the people who have served our country. Veterans represent the courage and commitment it takes to defend our nation and protect the liberties that we hold dear. Whether they serve during times of war or peace, their sacrifice helped to shape our country into what it is today. It's also important to remember that many veterans face unique challenges when they return to civilian life. Things like adjusting back into daily routines, finding work, or managing physical or emotional scars from their time in service. Veterans Day helps raise awareness about these challenges and reminds us to continue to support veterans beyond just one day a year. Now that we know why Veterans Day is so important, let's talk about what you can do to show your appreciation. First, simply say thank you. Whether it's a veteran in your family, a neighbor, or someone you meet at a Veterans Day event, a sincere thank you can mean a lot. Second, attend a Veterans Day parade or ceremony. Many cities hold special events where you can see veterans march, listen to speeches, and take part in community gatherings. Another way to honor veterans is by volunteering at your local VA hospital or organization that supports veterans. You can spend time with a veteran, help with events, or donate to programs that provide essential services like job training or mental health support. And don't forget, if you see flags placed around your town or at veteran memorials, take a moment to reflect on the meaning behind them. You can even leave flowers or a note of appreciation at a veterans memorial near you. Veterans Day celebrates the service and dedication of military personnel from all branches of the U.S. Armed Forces. Each branch plays a unique role in defending our country, with its own distinct traditions, missions, and areas of expertise. Let's take a closer look at the main branches. First, we have the U.S. Army, the oldest and largest branch, founded in 1775. The Army's primary mission is to protect and defend the nation through ground warfare. Soldiers in the Army can serve in a variety of roles, from infantry and tank operators to engineers and medical personnel. They operate both domestically and internationally, engaging in combat, peacekeeping, and humanitarian missions. Up next is the U.S. Navy. Also established in 1775, the Navy's focus is on maintaining freedom of the seas. Its fleet of ships, submarines, and aircraft ensures that the United States can respond to threats from the oceans. Navy personnel can be stationed on massive aircraft carriers, destroyers, and submarines, or they may fly jets or helicopters. The Navy also supports amphibious operations alongside with the Marine Corps. Speaking of the sea, The U.S. Marine Corps, which was founded shortly after the Navy, serves as the nation's rapid response force. The Marines specialize in amphibious operations, meaning they are trained to launch assaults from the sea onto land. The Marine Corps has a reputation for being fierce, adaptable, and capable of deploying quickly in times of crisis. While small in size compared to the Army or Navy, the Marine Corps is often the first to respond to combat situations. Then there's the U.S. Air Force, which became an independent branch in 1947. While originally part of the Army, the Air Force now handles the nation's air and space superiority. Airmen operate fighter jets, bombers, reconnaissance planes, and drones, playing a critical role in both combat operations and intelligence gathering. The Air Force also provides global airlift capabilities to transport troops, equipment, and humanitarian aid everywhere in the world. The U.S. Coast Guard is unique because it operates under the Department of Homeland Security during peacetime and can be transferred to the Navy in times of war. Founded in 1790, the Coast Guard's mission is to safeguard U.S. coastlines and waterways. Coast Guardsmen conduct search and rescue missions, enforce maritime law, and ensure the safety of shipping lanes. They also play a key role in environmental protection, preventing illegal activities like drug smuggling and human trafficking at sea. The National Guard is a unique branch of the U.S. military, serving both federal and state missions. Established in 1636, it is one of the oldest military organizations in the country. The National Guard plays a dual role. It can be called upon by state governors to respond to natural disasters, emergencies, and civil unrest, and it can also be activated by the federal government to support overseas military operations. Guardsmen serve part-time while maintaining civilian careers, making them a vital force for both local communities and national defense. And last but not least, we have the U.S. Space Force, the newest branch of the military, established in 2019. The Space Force is responsible for protecting U.S. interests in space, which includes satellite operations, space-based communications, and missile warning systems. Space Force plays a vital role in ensuring that the U.S. maintains a strategic advantage in this rapidly evolving domain. While each branch has its own unique mission, whether it's defending on land, patrolling the seas, or commanding the skies, they all work together to form a cohesive force that protects the United States and our interests at home and abroad. Veterans Day isn't just an American holiday. In fact, many countries around the world have similar holidays to honor their veterans and military personnel. In the UK and Canada, they celebrate Remembrance Day on November 11th, focusing on remembering those who served in the World Wars. People wear red poppies as a symbol of remembrance. Australia and New Zealand celebrate ANZAC Day on April 25th, which commemorates those who served and died in all wars. These global celebrations are a reminder that honoring veterans is a universal concept, showing respect and gratitude to those who have dedicated their lives to serving their country. You might see people wearing poppies on Veterans Day. This is because poppies are a symbol of remembrance and respect for those who have served in the military, especially those who lost their lives in battle. The tradition began after World War I, inspired by a poem. The poem In Flanders Fields was written by Lieutenant Colonel John McCrae, a Canadian physician and soldier during World War I. After witnessing the death of a friend in battle and seeing red poppies growing on the graves in Flanders, McCrae penned this now famous poem. It reflects on the sacrifices made by soldiers and their continuing legacy. Here is the poem. In Flanders fields the poppies blow, between the crosses, row on row, that marked our place, and in the sky the larks still bravely singing fly. Scarce heard amid the guns below, we are the dead, short days ago. We lived, felt dawn, saw sunset glow, loved and were loved, and now we lie in Flanders fields. Take up our quarrel with the foe, to you from failing hands we throw. The torch be yours to hold it high, if ye break faith with us who die. We shall not sleep, though poppies grow in Flanders fields. The description of the bright red poppies growing among the graves of fallen soldiers in Flanders, Belgium, captured the public's imagination. The vibrant flowers became a symbol of resilience, sacrifice, and the memory of those who fought. The poppy reminds us of the cost of war and the courage of those who serve. People now wear poppies on Veterans Day, Memorial Day, and Remembrance Day to honor fallen soldiers. So, as Veterans Day approaches, take a moment to think about the veterans in your life and your community. Whether you thank them in person, attend an event, or volunteer your time, let's all make sure that our veterans feel the appreciation that they deserve. If you enjoyed this video, please be sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe for more content like this. And to all the veterans watching, thank you for your service. Parents and teachers, if you're teaching about Veterans Day, click the link in the description for a free Veterans Day educational resource. Thank you for watching, and remember, get messy and make lots of mistakes today. Bye!